Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 344
344
of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. I was going to say 344 is a lot of shows.
I
It's
know.
been a really long time.
Very much.
So, MEI and Mouse Fan Travel can help you with any trips that you're planning. And right now, everything for pretty much anywhere you want to go is going to be a placeholder at this point. But, if you make a placeholder trip and then you have to reschedule it, they can really assist you with that. And I think it's a great time to have a travel agent. And I really hope that the parks are able to open sooner than later, but we'll see what happens. Right now, everything is sort of open-ended.
Yeah, they say they are ready for you and you're ready for them. And I think that's great. I can't wait to have to use their services very soon, hopefully.
Hopefully, yep.
So this week is our Easter show, and we're going to have a big retrospective of 10 years worth of Easter pre-parades at the Magic Kingdom. We're going to look at some chocolate eggs, and at the end of all this Easter talk, then we will do our weekly update with the latest that's going on here at Walt Disney World during the shutdown.
Well, you mean news, not just Walt Disney World, but
all of
essentially
Disney. That's
Disney
correct.
news. Obviously, this year there is no Easter at any of the parks, so we can't talk about this year. But we have been doing this for a really long time, and so we're looking at right now some eggs at the Grand Floridian. Is this last year?
No, this is 2016, one of my favorite years. Some of the classic eggs came out that year for the first time, and once they have an egg, they usually bring it back. So every year there's just more and more of these chocolate eggs. I guess they're able to keep them. But a couple of my favorite, like this Brave egg is one of my favorites. And in more current years, it'll be hard to see both sides because it'll kind of move to the side area. But in this case, you're able to see both sides very well.
Well, what Jeff is saying is just where they are displaying them has been harder to see. A lot of times these eggs are created with all the sides being decorated.
Perfect example is this frozen egg. We're going to take a 360-degree look in just how beautiful some of this artwork is. And then maybe in 2 or 3 years, when there's new eggs to feature, these eggs are sort of put up against the wall, so you really can only see one side of it.
Right. And that's the one thing is, like, I really try to get as many sides as I can on these for photos. The eggs, some of them do come back year after year. Some of them come back many years. But some of them, I think that the decorators, the cast members who decorate them, take them home. So it's sort of a combination. So every year you get some new ones, but then you also get some of the older ones.
There's one thing I wish we could recreate, though, is how wonderful it smells there in the Grand Floridian. I can smell it right now talking about it, the beautiful chocolate smell in the air.
I know. Well, anytime any place smells like chocolate is a good thing.
Yes, that is always true.
But this is Easter for us, is going to the resorts and going to the park and all that. So, we have to have a new Easter this year.
I like this one. This was one of my favorites at the time, the Pixar Toy Story egg. And you just saw the very realistic dog. And that was another one of my favorites. It just looks so real. There is another one sleeping.
I think there's just one cast member who really handles the animals. Like, they've made an elephant, they've made dogs, and a variety of different animals over the year, and they are so talented at that. And so here is like okay, now the Easter display is like double the size of that year, 2016. It's really incredible. Plus, there is a new chef. Chef Eric was there for like a long time. And here we are at the Yacht and Beach Club.
That's right. We're looking at last year's Yacht and Beach Club. This is only the second year, and it's really in just 1 year. It's amazing how it almost doubled in size. So many beautiful eggs last year, all made out of chocolate.
Well, they did such a great year. The first year, they really it's not like they did like 5 eggs. They came out of the box just really with incredible talent.
I was originally going to show the first year, but then I took a look at this year, and everything from the first year is still in this year, but then it's just times 10. Madame Leota there was new for that year, and some of these other eggs were brand new, and they're just really amazing.
And just the talent, and this type of thing sometimes takes some like months, so I don't know if they started on it or created anything that we might get to see on Easter Day. And I said that last week. I am hoping.
I love that stitch. The stitch was a great one, and I think we're going to see another one. Oh, the partners with the Walt. There's a little Walt in there, which is very nice.
And I was going to mention the Daisy Duck that we saw. She's wearing her Disney's Beach Club Cape May cafe costume. They do a character breakfast there, which I have not done character breakfast there in like 15 or 20 years.
Same here, at least 20 years. So hopefully that will be back in business, because now I want to go. Of course, I want to go anywhere right now.
I know. I just want to go walk through Epcot or something. But, once it's safe to do so, I'm looking forward to that. Look at this Mad Tea Party one. And, there was Judy, the Zootopia. Just such incredible talent. And if you come here for Christmas, they have the Beach Club Carousel that is exquisite, and I think just turned 20 this past year, and they do such a great job. But the Yacht Club also had like a small egg display.
And here it is. Now, the first year they did not have that small egg display, so that's another reason I chose to go with last year for Yacht and Beach. And again, they are just fantastic. I love the Dumbo. This one from Beauty and the Beast is amazing. So many great eggs.
I didn't know you were going to show these as well, and I didn't remember how good they were. But for a secondary egg display, because you go to Disney's The Beach Club and it's like, wow. And then this one's very nice. And I like the little Pascal here.
Oh yeah, fantastic. Just fantastic. And I think I'm going to show Dumbo, but yeah, there he is. There is Dumbo. And again, and there's little peanuts that you could see down at the bottom. So they just do a fantastic job there.
I miss this, and I don't mind being at home, but sometimes it's like, oh, I wish we could go today and go see them.
So let's start our look back at the last decade, the 2010s of the Walt Disney World Disney Easter Parade. And there is the mayor of Main Street, and you see the citizens of Main Street, which were in the parade for, I think, the first 3 or 4 years that we went. We'll continue to talk about changes and what it was like going to these. But this was 2010. It was the first one I had ever seen when I moved to Florida.
And I think that I looked online, and there was maybe just one pre-parade before we went, and it looked like they had the citizens of Main Street in this float.
In the gazebo.
Yes.
I saw that picture. But you see, this year was, you had Abby Mallard and Chicken Little, along with Rabbit, Thumper, Miss Bunny, and the White Rabbit also up there.
And we ran down on this first parade in 2010. We ran down to Frontierland so we could get it also from the other side, which we did a number of different years, but not every year we didn't do that.
Well, this was the best. We had ended up with 3 angles because you recorded the video with your camera at the time, and then I was on the other side of the street recording it with the video camera. So somehow on our very first one we did together, we did 3 angles, and this is great. There is a great shot of Chicken Little and Rabbit, and this is the first time that Clara Cluck, and the only time Clara Cluck was not in the Easter pre-parade that we saw in these 10 years.
And Clara Cluck was in the gazebo for 1 year, and then she had her own, the barn one that you will see like at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Yeah, you see that barn. We see that every year,
all
twice a year now. And here is Daisy Duck leading the Azalea Trail Maids.
Now Daisy's outfit has changed through the years. She now wears an Azalea Trail Maid outfit. These are seniors from Mobile, Alabama, and I'm sure that they were looking forward to it this year because they have done this for like 11 years now. And it really must be just such a special thing for them to be able to come here.
Yeah, it's so beautiful, so colorful. And now we're jumping ahead to 2011, and once again, the citizens of Main Street are kicking off the parade.
And I really enjoyed them being in the parade. So again, there's the mayor of Main Street. And also, we're in Liberty Square now. We had run over here as I actually like to try to get the parades from different angles when I can.
Yeah, it was much easier in those days to get from 2 different places. And also, the parade over the years has gone in different directions, so that would determine what we did.
And we have White Rabbit here. Now, Clara Cluck's in here, as well as Chicken Little, who we never saw again. Like, maybe long lost friends, but not very much anymore after this parade.
Yeah, so the big difference was we have Clara Cluck in there. She is the one and only time that she appeared in the gazebo, and of course Abby Mallard was not appearing at this point, and you never saw Abby Mallard again until another one of those long lost friends.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a tiny bit of stuff, but not too much. And Daisy, again.
Same outfit as she had in 2010, and now we're at 2012. Time is going by fast, and for the last time for us, it is the citizens of Main Street kicking off the parade, but we've had a little bonus this year. We have the Fantasia hippos.
Right, and I guess the ostriches didn't make an appearance this year.
Not this year, not yet.
It was really exciting to see the changes. At first, the first year that they did these parades, it wasn't, the first few years, it wasn't some big deal. It was just a little bonus for guests. And now they make it really put a lot of effort and make them a much bigger deal.
Well, every single year it would get bigger and better, and you can see there's Mr. and Mrs. Bunny, and for the only time you have Daisy in this, I guess it's a yellow looking dress. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very different for Daisy.
Yeah, I mean, every year she was, I don't say every year she was in something new, but she had at least, 4 costume changes or so over the years.
And of course, there are the beautiful Azalea Trailmade outfits, and here are the characters. Now we have it scaled down to just 4 characters.
Yeah, White Rabbit's still hanging in there.
Yeah.
And then Thumper and Miss Bunny were here most years, and Rabbit, I think, as well. It's not like they have a million different rabbits, although Nick and Judy, we'll see Nick and Judy coming up.
Yeah, I thought that was really nice how they kind of change out the characters. And many rabbits. Now, these performers, the chicken outfits, this was the first year for them.
Yeah, it was really fun again to watch and see. This was one of the biggest years for changes until recently. I think, don't you think that?
Oh yeah, this was really setting the stage for how it was going to be for years after. This was the first time we had the full barn out there in Clara Cluck. So really, this was a big year. And again, last year for the citizens of Main Street, but the first year for all of this extra enhancement.
And that was Clara's barn, and she rules the roost from up there.
Certainly does.
And, look here at how many guests there are. It's not as many as there are now. I think that guests just didn't know about it. And we always try to do the first one so it's not as busy.
So the big change for this year was the addition of the Fantasia ostriches joining the hippos.
And also, we're going to see butterflies and flowers performers as well. And this was so fun. Every year you're kind of, what's going to be new this year? Mm-hmm. And almost every year there was something new, and I really enjoyed seeing the ostriches come out.
And I think this was really setting for what we're going to see for the next 6 years. I mean, this was the big element listing of the parades.
Well, the cast members, the performers who are in the butterfly outfits and then the flower outfits, they actually come out and greet guests afterwards, which I think is really fun. And you can see Daisy has her Trailmade outfit now. So this is what she's going to wear for the remainder of all the parades.
And there she is, a beautiful outfit. She finally fits in with all the Azalea Trailmaids. I'm sure she's happy about that.
Yes, I'm sure she was delighted. But I actually think that's a very good look for her.
And again, we're taking a quick look at all the different colors. Always very Eastery, of course, because it is an Easter parade.
Yeah, an Easter pre-parade.
Pre-parade, yes.
So here is White Rabbit. And I didn't remember White Rabbit was in so many of these because White Rabbit will not be in all of them. Thumper and Miss Bunny were in most of them, though.
Yeah, I don't think there was ever a parade without Thumper and Miss Bunny of all the 10 years.
Okay, now they walked the parade route
when Nick and Judy came.
Okay.
So they had to be relegated to walking the parade route.
That's a pretty good long route there.
It is.
And here is Clara Cluck again, and I don't think this year changed otherwise too much. And new guests and
well, we'll get there. This next year was a tough one because this is the year you broke your ankle, so we had to find a place where you can watch it and take pictures from your wheelchair. So we decided to watch it from this angle. Turned out it was a great angle, and this is also the first time that Anna and Elsa appeared in the Magic Kingdom, and we met them this day.
And I'm just gonna say that I totally forgot that I remembered going to the Grand Floridian when I had my broken ankle. I remember Anna and Elsa, but I didn't really remember the parade viewing as much. And we're only just showing little bits of
what's
each
changed
parade, right?
Because you mentioned the White Rabbit. Well, White Rabbit was not in attendance this year. So
there was a spot for White Rabbit,
right.
though. There's only 3 bunnies
Perhaps the
in
White
there.
Rabbit was late.
And so here are, and they're getting more coordinated. They're getting a, dance routine here down, which I don't think they did.
They did not have this routine in previous years. And now it's 2015. We are at Christmas Tree Point. You are fully recovered. And once again, all the classic elements are in place. I think the only thing that will have changed this year is the reappearance of the White Rabbit.
And that's so funny. Like, I didn't realize that was it. So here are the butterflies and flowers. And it's sort of hard to believe now that it's been this long that some of these elements have been part of the parade. These performers and Daisy in her Azalea Trailmaid dress and such, because it feels, for me, very recent.
Yeah, I guess it took about 5 years to get to this point, and after this it doesn't change all that much, and there is the White Rabbit. He has returned. Now, there was a big change, though, in 2016, and this was a special year because you had 2 characters that only appeared for 2 years.
And that means Zootopia now is 4 years old. And so here's the banners, I think, changed some through the years as well.
And the cast member outfits, just to pay attention to those over the years.
Well, last year, the cast members who are holding the banners got new outfits and with little bunny tails. And hopefully you have that, because I thought that was really cute.
That was a major addition.
And I just really love how they are throwing all the confetti around. That's always just a fun little part of the parade.
And we had mentioned earlier, you're about to see Thumper and Miss Bunny for the one and only time walking the parade route.
Because they were kicked off the gazebo float.
Well, we have Nick and Judy here from Zootopia, and of course they needed to be the stars. This was hugely popular at the time. I think this was one of their first ever appearances at Walt Disney World, and people were very excited for this.
Well, I went to a media event at Walt Disney World just before this, and it was very exciting that they were going to be here. Now they're everywhere. You see them at Disneyland. I don't know if they meet here, but they meet at Disneyland at Disney California Adventure.
Yeah, it was a really big deal. I think that event you went to was at Disney's Animal Kingdom,
yes,
if I remember.
It was a really fun event, and the director and producer and everybody was there, so that was really fun.
But I remember it was really, really exciting to see this. There was lots of excitement. They weren't meeting and greeting anywhere, as you said. So yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Oh, they meet at like the Halloween party.
Now
I
they
think,
do,
right?
yes.
So
yes.
yeah, and we're just seeing also how many more guests there are through the years. It's become really a tradition for a lot of guests, I think.
Well, it certainly has been a tradition for us, because we would have been there this year, absolutely. And now we're going to go to 2017. And I think the only difference in 2017 is you're going to see Miss Bunny and Thumper join Nick and Judy on the gazebo.
That gazebo float changes so often. And, you never know who you're going to see on there.
Well, we should mention during this time, I don't see Rabbit and I don't see the White Rabbit. So both of them are not to be found in the parade while these 2 years with Nick and Judy.
You don't really see Rabbit as much as you used to in the parks, I think, overall here. And same with does White Rabbit meet at all? I can't think.
Yeah, I think so in Fantasyland sometimes.
Right, near with Alice.
With Alice.
Okay. And so here is Nick and Judy, who have become parade staples of their own right as well.
Right, but not this. This was their last appearance in the Easter pre-parade as far as here at the Magic Kingdom for us.
But they do like the Zootopia. Is it the Zootopia Party Patrol? Is that the Halloween party?
Yes.
And that is a lot of fun. So here is 2018.
This is the only time we had a weather issue during the parade. About halfway through, it started to rain, and we're going to see that. This is pretty much the standard parade with the return of the White Rabbit and Rabbit.
And it really is 2019 where they upticked a little bit and put a little more money into the parade. And it is nice to see Rabbit and White Rabbit back. They both were there in 2010, and you could see
the raindrops here. So over all those years, over 10 years, only one time did we have weather on Easter.
We did pretty good. I mean, this is such a great time of year normally, And it's been beautiful for many days now. I keep thinking, boy, I'd love to go to Epcot.
Well, now it is time. We're looking back at last year, and it was absolutely a beautiful day. You could see the difference already in the cast member outfits, and when they get closer, you'll see they have face makeup to look sort of like rabbits, and they have the rabbit ears and the hats, completely new outfits, and all the classic standard elements of the parade were there.
And bunny tails on the back of their coats, and it
Yes.
was very exciting. And even in their pants, you see like a rabbit design, and I just thought that was so cool. They just got this really terrific outfit. You can see, it's really, it was so fun.
Yeah, so fun and a surprise to us. As you said earlier, we're always wondering what the enhancement will be. And also these Easter egg ladies here that you're about to see, they were totally new. Nothing was like this ever in the past. And Mr. and Mrs. Easter Bunny have gotten an upgrade. They're now in the limo. They used to be in that old vehicle, so now they're riding in style. It only took them 10 years to upgrade to this.
I mean, I felt like last year's parade was maybe the best it's ever been.
I
Especially
agree.
they put all this money into it. I think does she have a newer outfit? Like, I don't remember that hat, so I'll have to look at the I just looked at 10 years of parades, and I should know.
And even Easter eggs, they're, very nice on the limo there. And there is Daisy in her beautiful dress with the azalea trail maids. It was such a gorgeous day last year. All the classic elements, as we said.
I feel bad that not only are guests not going to be able to enjoy this year, but again, the Azalea Trail Maids, who it really is I just think it's such an honor to be able to come to the Magic Kingdom and be part of the parade, and just that they are not this year, to me, is sad, because it's not like they're going to be in high school again, next year. The seniors are going to be in college.
Yeah, very true. Here is the classic gazebo, sort of the mirror float of this pre-parade, I would say.
And there is, Rabbit and White Rabbit.
We have seen Thumper, Miss Bunny.
Who knew that this year we would not see this again? Not this year, anyway.
Right, and we're about to see Clara Cluck in her barn, her moving barn there, and you see there's nice decor. I don't think there's ever been as much decoration to the barn, and you're going to see other new outfits coming up. And there is a ending banner. I don't know if we've had an ending banner like this in previous Easter pre-parades.
No, I don't remember one, and they really scaled this one up, and I don't know what they would have done for this year, if anything, but they really, put a little more money and a little more effort into making this something special.
Well, I'm very thankful that we've got to experience this together. 10 years of Easter at the Magic Kingdom. I wouldn't change a thing. Now we're going to look back at some character meet and greets starting at 2015 at Disneyland. And it's Roger Rabbit.
This is the springtime roundup. This was the last year that Disneyland did something like this at Big Thunder Ranch, because Big Thunder Ranch is like now,
that too.
Yeah. And I love this area. This was just a fantastic location for many years. I just loved it, and we didn't have to wait, right?
I was so excited for this. It had been a long, long time since I got to meet Roger. So I was worried there were going to be big, long lines. And pretty much the first thing we did when we got to Disneyland was head over to the ranch, Big Thunder Ranch. And there was no line. I mean, I remember at one point Roger was just standing around with not one guest. So we had more time than we really needed. We went back a couple times to just see them and visit with them. The only characters that really had long lines were Mickey and Minnie, and even they weren't that bad. And it's Brer Rabbit, somebody that should have been in one of those Easter parades. Brer Rabbit.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought of that. And look at Pluto with the bunny ears, and this was so fun as well. And I don't think there was much of a line, if any line here either.
No line whatsoever for Pluto. They used to have a bunny hop too, and all the characters would come out and they would sing. And I will link to that in the show notes. We were actually there for the very last. It turned out to be the last ever bunny hop, and there is Mickey in his springtime. I'll call it an Easter outfit.
I just really enjoyed this location, and I thought of it as an Easter offering, but it wasn't just like a day. It was, maybe a month or a few weeks of character meet and greets and activities. And Big Thunder Ranch, to me, was like one of my favorite places at Disneyland until they closed it.
Yeah, it was really a springtime event, as you said. But to me, it just made me feel like Easter when we were there. So I'm very, very glad that we made it out in 2015. And there is Minnie in her springtime dress.
And I was mentioning that there were activities and such. Nothing that we really did too much, and I wasn't doing the bunny hop. But, and here we are at the Grand Floridian. Mickey and Minnie have been at the Grand Floridian and White Rabbit as well for many, many years. And they meet together. And their outfits changed a little bit last year.
This was one of my favorite versions of their outfit. Mickey actually had his hat in other years. I think I'm going to show Mickey. It appeared just like this with Minnie, but for some reason he lost his hat. So this was my favorite time ever for us meeting them at the Grand was 2017. I'll always remember that as really a perfect year for them.
And I think we have gone to the Grand Floridian every year for 5 or 6 years at least, as really the kickoff for Easter Day. Went and enjoyed the Easter eggs a little bit more and went and met some characters. They used to give out like drinks and pastries or something in the morning too.
And now we're at 2018. This year we started off at the Contemporary Resort, and here is Chippendale in their tuxes. Very nice looking.
They're really cute in the tuxes. We have seen Chippendale in these outfits a few times, I think. They like to kind of dress up in their tails.
And they're always playful. Chippendale always, well, look at this. They are always fun characters to meet. So that was a great way to start things off. I think we're going to, and here is, again, I told you Mickey lost his hat. And we're seeing that, an example of this. And this was great when they ran out and they were playing hula hoops.
They were really fun in this. I don't even remember this. Was I like right here?
You were right next to me taking pictures, as you always are. So you were fully there.
I don't know if I have pictures of this.
Yes, indeed.
No, you're going to have to show me because I'm going to want to put one on Instagram.
Okay, well, I will do that. So now we're at Disney's Port Orleans Riverside, and here comes a very dapper looking Donald.
I remember falling here. Like I had a...
That was true. I think that was the following year, though. It was last year you had your fall.
Yes. Oh, this is
2018.
Oh, okay. Well, I fell at Port Orleans Riverside not too long before I had surgery. It had to do with the medication, made me a little unsteady on my feet. So here is, Donald. They do a lot of the top hat and, kind of the
very
little
dressed
tux.
up. It's Easter time, and there's Daisy in her Easter finery.
Well, Daisy looks almost the same. I think she's just a little more sparkly.
Yes,
she didn't.
yes.
She didn't go all out here.
We know who did go all out is Goofy at the All-Star Movies, and we have seen him in other holidays like this. And there he is with his top hat and his fancy attire.
Again, for some reason, Easter is especially big on top hats.
So now we're at the Magic Kingdom, and of course, the tradition is always to meet the Easter Bunny and Miss Bunny. And this particular year, they were handing out autograph cards, which was a new thing, and they were shaped like Easter eggs. So I think, if I can remember correctly, I'm about to hand them one of these autograph cards so they will model it for here it is, and here they are, very, very happy to help.
And every so often when I post them on online, people will say they look a little bit like Chip and Dale, so maybe they're related.
I think they are related. I would say that. Here's a close-up look at those nice autograph cards. In there is 2019. It is Donald at the Art of Animation Resort.
Yes, with his top hat. This is the last resort that we visited. The last
day of Disney for us. I'll always remember that. Something very special. There is Mickey all dressed up. And I think, where are we here? Do we remember? Oh, I know. Saratoga Springs.
Yes, this is Saratoga. I didn't realize you didn't remember.
Yeah, Saratoga Springs. I think Minnie is... Oh, no, it's Donald and Daisy.
We were really trying to push out some resorts because usually we did Grand Floridian and a couple others, but we tried to do a little more variety of value resort and deluxe resort.
So I just want to say that is it for Easter. So happy Easter, everybody. We hope you have a great Easter. We're going to link to all of this in the show notes, and also we're linked to the videos, the full video. We have a 52-minute video of every single Easter pre-parade, and we will also link to anything else that we come up with that's of interest of Easter.
I'm glad we didn't spend 52 minutes talking about the parades, though.
I could have done that, no problem.
I couldn't have. Because they look so much alike a little bit. But, again, to see the changes is really fun.
And we're looking at some video and pictures here of all the Disney parks around the world as they thank the health workers on World Health Day.
Right, the medical workers who have, really are on the front lines. It's such an incredible, challenging, time right now, and especially for them and others who are just again on the front lines. And thank you to any of you out there who are doing that.
So now we'll get into the latest in the news.
Right, just we'll touch on a few items. Tokyo Disneyland, their closure was extended. It was supposed to be, I think, April 20th, but now they're saying that they will have maybe an idea on May, mid-May, of when a date they can announce. But we'll see. I mean, maybe they'll say we're not ready for a date yet. It's just it's gonna be a while.
Right. It seems to me it was just more information to come, and will be announced in the middle of May.
Right. And Bob Iger told Barron's this week that Disney might implement temperature checks at the parks. Personally, I would like to see an X-ray machine.
Oh yes.
Finally.
Oh, that's
finally
a real
for
excellent
bags,
point.
just like at Disneyland Paris and at Universal Studios. It's something that I wanted for a very long time. I know I'm not the only one who feels that way. You don't want, the security touching all your stuff, and especially now with COVID-19, but the flu and other things that they could spread. But not only that, but X-ray machine can look into like everything, and it's so much faster. If you've ever been to Disneyland Paris, if you've ever been to Universal Studios, you know that.
But the temperature checks was, he said that's one of the things they're looking at. So at least they're trying their best to come up with a way to make it safe for all of us to get back into the parks.
Right. I mean, with a temperature check, I don't know if they will always catch somebody who might have COVID-19, and that is tricky. Again, they're waiting obviously till we're more on the other side of where it's less risky.
Well, the best would be if we can have instant testing, and you can get tested and know within a minute or something if you're in the clear. I mean, if that was the case, that would solve everything.
I mean, we've gone down from where it can take a week to where it's 15 minutes, and you never know. Like a test eventually could be like a temperature check, in as far as how fast it is. But I don't know. This is something that for me is very new. So we're just seeing, there probably will always be a risk once the park opens, just like in life. But they're kind of waiting until that at least is minimal, and maybe we have more testing, more treatment, or some sort of treatment. So
Universal also had a big announcement.
Yes, and I'm going to say, Universal says May 31st at least that they'll be closed. I think it'll probably be longer again unless we find some sort of a treatment. But right now, that's what they're looking at, is opening no earlier than June 1st.
And that's for Hollywood and for Orlando, by the way.
Yes. And then the Disney Cruise Line also canceled sailings through May 17th, but the CDC extended a no-sail order for cruise ships by at least 100 days. Now, while they say by at least 100 days, they also say they can modify that. So it can be earlier if the risk is low, happens. Yes, or it could be certainly longer as well. So everything is flexible as far as, with what happens with the virus.
So now we're looking at the end of the cast members, and they're all saying thank you. And we say thank you very much to them. I miss seeing all the cast members and interacting with everybody, so I really can't wait to get back. And we want to thank our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel.
Thank you. Yes, thank you to MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. We appreciate their sponsorship, and check them out. I know we don't know a date for travel right now, but this is a good time. It's a good time to start thinking about it for later, whether it's next year or later this year. I hope that travel will be available later this year, and there's no way to know, but they can help you with that, and to maybe hold something, and then if it needs to be modified, they can handle that for you.
Yeah, this whole thing proved that's very helpful indeed to have a travel agent.
Yes, it really is certainly for right now. And it's been a rough time. I stumble over my words. I don't mind being in the house and getting work done and all that, but there's a lot of terrible stuff going on around the world, and that's very difficult.
Well, let's try to end on a positive. I want to wish everyone a happy Easter. Today is Good Friday, and tomorrow we're going to have a special release on our YouTube. It's going to be America Sings from 1987. That'll be our vintage show. And if you're a fan of Mark Davis, the great Mark Davis, Disney legend, I highly recommend you check this out, because it's the first show, the first theme park thing he ever did 100% on his own without Walt Disney being around.
That's incredible, and the quality on it. A friend took it and sent it to you, and you kind of fixed it up even more. But he did such a great job on it. We have the
audio. Yeah, it's great, and I can't wait for everyone to see it. And then we're going to have a special Easter surprise on. Well, it won't be a surprise now if you made it this far. On Easter Sunday, 8 a.m., we're going to put 5 years worth of Easter character meet and greets all together. Over a half hour of character meet and greets on Easter from 2015 through 2019. So that'll be a lot of fun.
And there's no limit to the amount of videos we can post because you've been shooting for, as you like to say, 30 years.
And without knowing it, I've trained my whole life for this. So I have plenty of material.
Yeah, there'll be, as the time goes on, if it ends up being several months, there'll be more and more older stuff going up because we still have a little bit of current, but not quite as much now.
Not unlimited. That's
not unlimited, no.
So anyway, thanks again for listening. Have a great week. Happy Easter, and we'll see you all next week.
Happy Easter and stay safe.